Hi, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. I made a post on my LinkedIn asking if you were to attend a webinar, what kinds of topics would you be interested in having? What kinds of conversation would you be interested in having? And someone responded and said a step by step guide on how to find professors with funding. And I felt like that was actually an interesting topic, to discuss. I know that I have talked about different ways to get funding and stuff like that, but I guess there are still some questions that are left unanswered. And that is what this video is going to be all about. Getting graduate funding can sometimes can be straightforward and sometimes cannot be straightforward or may not be straightforward. So, a straightforward case is a case where once you apply and once the admission decision is being given to you, it comes with the funding. So, you do not need to do like a separate funding. Sometimes you don't even need to reach out to any professor, it's just there. This program, once you're applying to it, with or without a professor saying, "Oh, I'll take you in," you just get the funding as soon as you get the admission. That is a more straightforward one. But in a case where you have to reach out to a professor, or at least you have to be sure that the professors in that your program are able to provide you with funding of some sort, that can be a lot more tricky and sometimes strenuous. So I'm going to try to break this down in different process or in different ways that this can work out for you. And if I don't get to finish everything in this video, I will be making another video just to give you a better understanding of what you can do. So first things first is you need to already have a list of schools that you desire to apply. This is a very straightforward process. You can do that. I mean, I already have videos where you talk about how to search for schools. So you already should like maybe shortlist about 10 schools that you want to apply to or that already have a very good and fitting program that you want to apply to. The next step is to check out the requirements for admission for that program. So, for example, you get a university like Harvard University, find out what the requirement for that program is. The requirements that another program may have in the same university may not be the same requirement. So, don't try to generalize. Now that you've checked out what the requirements are, it becomes easier for you to know the schools that require you to most likely reach out to a professor before you even try to apply. This is one of the reasons why I always advise that people should start early, because if you start early, you are able to do some of this background check early. You're able to meet the requirements quite early rather than starting late or when the portals have opened and it feels like you are just, racing against time. And these professors are really busy. So if you reach out to them at that point where applications are already coming in, they sometimes may not respond to you. So it's usually very good to start most likely 1 year ahead. So now that you already know the universities that, require you to get a professor that is going to take you in, you need to then go to the faculty profile of that university, because how else will you know the professors that are in the university without searching the faculty profile, right? So check the faculty page of that program. There is always a faculty page. That faculty page most likely should have the picture of the person, the name, the position, and sometimes their research interests. Sometimes they also give you links to something like their Google Scholar page, maybe their website if they do. They give you links to some of their publications and stuff like that. Now, this is the best place where you just need to take your time, read through the profiles of each person, shortlist at least, I like to say shortlist at least three people, three faculty members that their research interest kind of aligns with yours. Why this is important is so that if one person says no to you, in that space you can reach out to the next person to say, hey, I want to work with you, like, do you have funding and stuff like that, so that you don't just rely on one person. And you need to send these emails out in time. All right, now once you have been able to shortlist those three people that kind of are very close or exactly what you want to do, then one thing I like to do is I try to check them out on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very good. And before you reach out to them on LinkedIn, make sure that your LinkedIn page is very optimized. You have your picture, you have what you do, you have some of your experiences. Because if truly they are interested in you, they may also want to check you out. So you also want to be sure that your profile is also appealing to them as well. Okay, so the thing I usually do is I go on LinkedIn, I check them out, I check some of the things they are involved in, if they have any personal preference. Some of them you may find out that, oh, they like cats or they like to go to the movies. Some of them just kind of put it there as their hobbies, right? Then you search for what their interests are. What are they actively doing? Especially if it is somebody that has an active LinkedIn account. You then check what they are already doing, like maybe a work in their research lab, a publication, or something. They may not be working on something currently, but they may have, released some publications or some papers, or they may have attended some conferences. Just, for people that usually highlight some of these things on their LinkedIn page, it just gives you an insight into what is going on. Okay. Another thing that I do, and this one helps me a lot. This is most likely your best option: the Google Scholar profile. Google Scholar. If you are a publisher or you intend to publish, there is something known as Google Scholar. Whatever paper you have published and stuff like that, it's usually on a Google Scholar. You need to create a profile and then your publications keep going there. That is how papers that have more citations. That is how the papers that have recognitions and whatnot. So search them out on Google Scholar. They would usually have a profile already. The Google Scholar page, what it would do for you is it's going to show you their papers from past to present. Okay. The Google Scholar page tells you, like, when you read those papers that they publish, you begin to see or understand their line of thinking as researchers. Then it even gives you better clarity on whether this is actually what you want to do or this is not what you want to do. Do you understand? So Google Scholar is another way to find them. Another way you can find them is you search the news contents. Like my university has a news section on the website where you see news about both current and past news about the faculty that they have, what they are doing. Some of them, you see that they've granted them awards. You see the year of that award. Another place you can also check is the research page of that program. This is where you can also see the awards that these professors have, if they have any grants, any active grants, and things like that. So by the time you search the faculty profile, then you search their LinkedIn page, then you search their Google Scholar page, you search the news section of the program, then you search the research section of the program or the research area section of the program that you're applying to, you should be able to be sure that this is the person that I want to work with. All right. And then you can shoot them a cold email. Cold email, very brief. I already have a video on that, so you can search that and watch. I already talked about the things that you should have in your cold email. Very short. It's an email, but it should be very professional and it should literally state why and what you want to do, why you're interested in them, and things like that. Is like you are selling yourself, but very short, very brief. I hope this has been helpful for you. if you still need clarity in how you can reach out to these professors, I hope that in due time I'll keep making videos like this just to give you better clarity on what you should do or what you can do. Okay. So till then, see you next time. Bye.